Welcome back. Now let's briefly look at the key tool we use in the 360 review process to help us reach the goal of planning for personal development. In our last session, we stressed that the personal development plan is an absolutely essential follow-through after a 360 review if real change is hoped for. As a 360 review consultant, you may or may not be the one who helps the person finalize the details of their personal development plan, or who coaches them through the implementation of their plan. But whatever the case, you will need equipping to at least help coach them to get started in creating an effective personal development plan. The Personal Development Plan Sheet is the tool we use to help them develop an effective and measurable personal development plan. So today we'll take a look at this tool and learn some tips on how to coach a person through the process. Now, just by way of reminder, coaching is about helping a person discover God's agenda for their personal life or ministry growth by asking powerful questions, by listening deeply, and by cooperating with the Holy Spirit's working in their lives. So let's remember this as we think about coaching through a personal development plan. Simply stated, we're talking about helping the person take steps of growth to move from A, where they are now, to B, where they desire to be. And this personal development plan worksheet is designed to help us do just that. The first step is to help them identify A, or where you are. Ask them to consider what areas identified through their 360 feedback they want to grow in. Here you want to clarify areas of growth to be developed. These will include both areas of strength as well as areas of weakness. Ask them to look over their review and prayerfully identify 2 areas in which they want to grow. It's very difficult to focus on developing more than 2 or 3 specific areas. And I suggest you help them select 1 strong area to develop further and 1 weak area to grow in. Here are some examples of possible areas for development that can come out of a 360 review feedback. Become a better listener. Learn to initiate with people when there's conflict. Improve coaching skills. Deepen my relationship with the Lord. Improve my computer and email skills. Grow in my effectiveness as a spokesperson. Once they choose 2 areas for growth, ask them to list them in this left-hand column, strength or need, my areas of growth, strength or weakness. For example, 1 area they want to grow in is to do a better job of managing my emotional responses when I'm disagreed with or caught off guard in a conversation. Note that this area is taken from their 360 feedback. It shows where they are today. They respond defensively when they're disagreed with or caught off guard. And it identifies an area of growth in their life. Now, for time's sake, we'll just illustrate this one issue. Step 2 is to ask what. What would be different if they were to get to their B, or at least their next step in getting to B? Ask them to write the goals needed to make progress in this area of growth in the second column, goal. I will know I've grown in this area when measurable, achievable, observable. So for this issue, their goals may be, I can count 5 times where I responded in a non-defensive way when disagreed with or caught off guard by December. I received feedback that I responded well in a potentially tense or confrontational situation. Note that these goals can be measured 5 times by December. They're obtainable. Just 5 times. Responded well. And people can observe when progress is made. I receive feedback from others. Step 3 is to ask why. Why do they struggle with this area? Why do they respond defensively when disagreed with or caught off guard? You want to help them identify root issues or potential roadblocks. For this, they use column 3, root issues. What root issues hinder my growth in this area? Well, they feel the root issues include, I tend to be a black and white thinker. For example, it's either right or wrong. I lack knowledge and experience in responding differently. I'm unsure of how to respond in these situations in a non-defensive way. Note that these root issues answer the question, why do I respond defensively when disagreed with or caught off guard? It addresses the behavior, responding defensively. It addresses the reason for the behavior, lack of knowledge or experience. And finally, in step 4, we help them answer the question, how? How can I see real growth in this area? For this, it's important to identify specific steps. For this, they use column 4 on the right, next steps. What do I need to learn? What resources do I need? What will I do next? When will I do it? Who will coach me? For this issue, their next steps include revisit changes that heal, specifically black and white thinking, by August. Have Dave help me see things from multiple points of view. Build my toolbox with some good responses to help me get through initial reactions. Read difficult conversations. Read boundaries face to face. Process a specific situation with a friend to think through how I might have responded better. Note that these steps are specific to meet the goals. They involve others in the growth process, and they involve being intentional. So here's what their personal development plan would look like for the first area of growth. Now we would continue this process for the next area as well. It's important that they identify a coach to help make sure the person completes the A to B process. Now let me close this time by identifying 3 of the common obstacles that often cause a personal development plan to be ineffective. One is that the areas of needed change are not specific or are ill-defined. Another is that the goals and next steps are not really measurable, achievable, or observable. And finally, the next steps do not correlate with or lead to the accomplishment of their goals. The coach should be aware of these issues and help make sure the personal development plan is truly effective and produces real life change.